Hello. We are talking about our weekly reading focus today. It is going to be in our weekly reading focus folder for week 5 and 6. This is going to be April 20th. So for this week, we're going to talk about meeting characters along the way. And a lot of fiction stories have some really interesting characters in them. And there's a few things we want to talk about or think about when we're reading books like that. So here's our chart. Loading right now. And it is called Readers Meet Characters Along the Way. So I'm going to come back to this in a minute. First, I'm actually going to read this story to you. And I think the letters look backwards to you guys at home. So just kind of look at the pictures and listen as I read. This book is called Pig the Pug. And I'm going to see, I'm going to make that bigger. Oof. And then we're going to talk about the character on the afterwards, okay? So Pig the Pug. I read this with some of you this last couple weeks. So some of you are familiar with this story, which is good because then you'll be a little better at thinking about our character in this. So the main character in this book we know is going to be Pig the Pug. But there's also going to be another character we're going to meet. Pig the Pug by Erin Blabey. Pig the Pug. Pig was a pug, and I'm sorry to say he was greedy and selfish in most every way. He lived in a house with a wiener dog, Trevor, but when was he nice to him? I'll tell you, never. You've got some great toys there, poor Trevor would say, but Pig would just grumble, they're mine, go away. So here on this page, we're meeting Trevor, and we're still kind of getting to know Pig the Pug. But it might be more fun, Trevor said to Pig, if we both played together. Well, Pig flipped his wig. No, they are mine, didn't you hear? Only mine. You keep your paws off them. They're mine, 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 mine. I know what your game is. You want me to share, but I'll never do that. I won't, and I swear. Okay, Trevor's ears flying back. And with that, he proceeded to gather his stuff and make a big pile with a huff and a puff. And once he gathered them up in a pile, he howled from the top with a satisfied smile. There, shouted Pig, now you won't get my loot. It's mine, 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 mine. So why don't you scoot? But just at that moment, poor Trevor did see the pile was wobbling. Oh, dear me. Watch out up there, good Trevor did cry. But the shame of it was... Da-da-da. Well, pugs cannot fly. He fell right out the window. And even a dog can't fly, we know that. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. It's so very different in most every way. Yes, Pig shares his toys now, and Trevor's his friend. They both play together. Well, while Pig's on the mend. So Pig has quite a body cast going on there. So now he has to share his toys with Trevor. All right, so Pig is quite an interesting character. Let's go ahead and look back at our chart here. So first, learn about the character. So we definitely learned a lot about Pig the Pug. One of the first things we learned was how selfish and greedy he is, and he did not like to share. So we learned that by things that he was saying. He was saying, no, I won't share. Things that he was doing, he wouldn't let Trevor play with anything. He wouldn't play with him. So we learned about Pig the Pug. We also learned about Trevor, though. We also learned Trevor seemed like a pretty nice dog, and he wanted to get along with Pig. The next post-it says, pay attention to other characters, too. So that's when we're talking about Trevor. We learned a lot about him. We can reread to learn more about the characters. So that's why I know some of you have read this book or heard this book before, but we did it again. So sometimes you notice some new things about the characters. Bring the character to life. So Pig the pug was brought to life by things that he was saying, things that he was doing, things that he was thinking or feeling. So we learned all about that stuff throughout the whole book. For example, one thing that really brings him to life is some of these crazy faces he was making. We can tell how he was acting by the pictures. So we learned a lot about him then. And the last one says, notice when feelings change, then change your voice. So in this book, Pig the Pug was yelling some crazy stuff in this page. So you'll notice I kind of raised my voice and made it sound like he was yelling a little bit more. But then on the last page, things were different. And, your voice might get a little bit softer. Look, they're getting along now. They're sharing. So you can change your voice as things change in the book. Okay? So we did this today with Pig the Pug. You guys can pick a book anywhere to do this with. So you could do this in one of the books I sent home with you. Maybe you have books at home. You could use MyOn books, BookFlick books. You could use these even in the Scholastic reading lesson books. Think about these things. Okay? So go ahead and give that a try. And that is your goal for the week in reading. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.